Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for, we are off. It's Astralis Mibr ECS Season 6 finals here. It's Astralis starting on the T side, and we're right into the action now. We're going to see smokes and the first frag as Fur, aggressive of course, pushes towards second middle. Will open things up against Dupree, and that's going to slow Astralis right down.
Certainly does. Fur getting aggressive. Taking any time to allow them to settle into a default. They will take pace back toward B on the Astralis side instead. They've got the boost for Stewie, and he spots down to Glaive, but can't get the shot block. Instead, Device follows it. So the response is swift. Not only that, it's all the way over on the B site, which forces the rotations. Despite that pick came on the A side of the map, it really doesn't amount to anything in terms of holding off the bomb plant. That said, bomb needs to get inside of the site. Hasn't done so yet, and Tarek down, does have a chance to try and push further through. He's got a teammate, I think, boosted up here. There's still a lot of time in the smoke. I think there's about another 10 seconds on it. That just went down as he turned around. So this bomb's backing away from it. They don't want to risk taking the plant with that boost going up. That smoke was late.
Here we go then. Bomb's still yet to go down. It's Zipex finding that completely open side. This is almost impossible now for Mibr to pull this one back. Mage is holding towards the library as well. It's just so perfect. The fact Tarek's got 19 HP, I just don't see a world where Mibr can pull this one off. It's Cold Zera, who is an Inferno specialist here. He's going to have to go above and beyond for his teammates. But like I said, that position in library, he doesn't have time to check every single corner here, Matt. That's going to be the round. And Tarek might be better off to saving the diffuse, getting flashbangs here. Might be able to silhouette a kill, but not quite. There it is, Astralis. Certainly the favourites here at Inferno, man. We can't argue with that. This is their map. They're so good on it. And they have a great pistol after losing the first pick as well. It's all about Glaive, who just keeps on performing on Inferno. It's amazing to watch at times.
So Astralis takes an early lead, and it'll be a force buy from Mibr. We have seen good success on it throughout the weekend. 3 smokes. So some good utility. They want banana control. Keep that in mind when we swap over to T-side. We talked about this yesterday with Astralis. They're so good at taking banana, so good with utility that you almost have to take it late or not at all.
Remember, this is Mibr force buying in the second round. Yep. Not a lot of teams do this, but they have pretty much every round of this tournament. So we'll be interested to see if they can win it. They actually have had great success. They've got so much talent available to them. Very smart players as well. But if they check the boost, this round should be over. It's Stewie that goes down. He is known to anchor that B bomb site solo most of the time. If you find a kill on him, you can almost guarantee the site's going to be open for yourselves. And that's going to be bomb going down, and they might just consider saving the CZs and Desert Eagles here, so they have a chance of actually fighting back in the next round, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Nice round from Astralis. Didn't give too much away there, just a single kill, bombs down, and they could maybe explore the idea of going for a bit of a hunt here with the UMPs. Obviously, there's money to be farmed there, but so far, so good, but still a dangerous round next if all 3 players survive on the CT forces.
Good start again. I like how on the desk as well, Pimp and Jason agreed that this is probably the best veto you could put against Astralis. Like, it was the closest you could get. And then they go on to say, well, Overpass, they're still the best team in the world. It's like, is there any veto that's going to give you a chance?
Yes, the good thing that Mibr had coming into this, their go-to veto is Nuke. So they had that working in their favor at least, as we will see. Fur, take another kill away. That's going to be a UMP picked up at least. As we get into round number 3, still have to be very cautious one. Usually you'd have just USPs, no armor. You just run around the map, farm some cash, but they need to be careful here. Players like Cold Zera, he actually has one of the scariest eagles in CSGO right now. He can find headshots.
So Fur does get a UMP out, which is formidable. Certainly if he can play position and get flashed in, they've got 2 to work with off of Cold. Fur himself has 1. And expectedly, he's over toward the B side of the map, but again, they won't go aggressive on Banana. I expected almost he would play half wall, perhaps try and get flashed in that position. Instead, he's going to be more passive, so they want to have the crossfires for when they actually arrive on the site.
Well, here we go then. They've got that B control, but you can see the bomb's still down a T step, so it won't be a full commitment, at least for 30 seconds or so. Device, oh my goodness, he's going to struggle here. He's definitely going down. How is he still alive? Finally, they get him. It's going to be Fallen to pick up the kill. They get an AK-47, but is it going to be enough to pull this one back? Advantage for now, but as you can see, Astralis getting themselves ready to pop towards the arch side. They're waiting for that smoke to go down. Good Molotov to force Cold Zera out of position, but that Desert Eagle, watch out for it. We know he's good with it. All of a sudden, the kills are coming in favor of Mibr. It's going to be a 4 versus 2 with Dupree and Glaive stuck against it now. I'm not sure they can pull this one back. There is a minute remaining, and they might have made a great call here to go towards that B side.
They might have. They've stuck through them. They're 2 in library. I don't even think we're aware of this. They now realize they have to work back out, but Glaive's going to have position on this. They still don't know it. They rotated out of A. They're going to go together. They have to at this point in time. So much ground is lost. Bomb plant's important as well, because Astralis, again, if you win the first 2 but lose the new, I guess, gun round 4 previously, Still need a better way to say that, but the point is by getting this bomb plant down, that's going to ensure they still have a perfect buy in the next round despite losing this, and despite the investment early on. Glaive holding, good find on Stewie. We may not have to worry about the bomb plant, we might have to worry about the entire round. Now Dupree, only with 9 HP, is going to get caught. That Molotov was a little late, they were too close, they were able to swing, peek together, Glaive almost gets them both, but Fallen trades it back. And it did start with the flash on B, but it wasn't the SMG. Fur was playing passive in that position.
Well, they win the round. That's massive. And I did say coming to this one, you have to be so careful. If they saved Eagle Armor, it can be chaotic. And unfortunately, it was Device that this is the moment where it all starts to fall apart. If you have a player like that with a rifle in a position as common and prevalent as the banana area, if he goes down with nothing, gives a rifle away to MIBR, that could be enough, and it certainly was. Glaive fall back the best he could, but overwhelmed in the 2 versus 1 in the end. Couldn't find the double spray down, and we are off. We've got a double orb set up here. Fallen and Coldzera, classic MIBR double orb. We've seen Tarek joining him with the responsibility, seen they've gone back to what they know works, and we'll see now if Astralis with their MAC-10 can answer back here. They did have enough money for a pretty decent buy, 4 AKs, a lack of all the utility device with nothing here as we enter the 1 minute 30 mark, and Fallen, it's so good at this side of the map, man. He's great at close range, he knows when to go for the wall bangs, and he's going to fall back to defensive line, but he's got so many tricks up his sleeve.
He thought about that. He saw that Molotov be thrown and thought maybe there's someone on the wall, but elected not to shoot it and not give away the fact that it's on the site. As of yet, still playing towards CT, that's easily smoked off, and I presume will be. But he can stick around with the angle already lined up and fire into it. One will do exactly that. There he goes, flash as well. No smoke as of yet, they want to put it late, and he's still blind, still in the open. Device absolutely destroys Stewie on entry. And Fallen was nearly caught off as well. He's fortunate to get away from this, and I think getaway is the key word. Yeah, that's it, that 1 kill, and that's a very methodical process from Astralis. You see the smokes deployed, the flash is over. It was very awkward for the timings there. Fallen normally good for 1 kill, couldn't find anything there. You can see overwhelmed, flashed off, and then his teammate absolutely battered by Device there. Great opening kill, and it's enough to guarantee victory here. Astralis know, though, 4 players staying alive. They could go for a hunt. Their money's not exactly great. They might just want to keep all 5 players alive. And MIBR on a double orb setup as well. That's the main problem with this setup. It can be fantastic, but if you have to go for a retake, especially in that B bomb site, 2 orbs is just not going to be sufficient, and Fallen decides to fall back, and we'll see Mages with the MAC-10. He can definitely justify going for a bit of a hunt here. Doesn't necessarily want that weapon in the next round, as Tarek will find him. Like I said, not a huge deal. Definitely affects the money for them a little bit there, but 4 players do survive on the Brazilian side there. 3-1 Astralis, and another gun round to take place here. It's going to be round 5, and Fallen and Coldzera still on those orbs. Do they want to try and get super aggressive here, try and face towards T-steps, knowing that Device doesn't really bring out the orb on the T side unless he picks one up for free? Cold back out toward middle, won't be aggressive this time. Smokes it off and actually falls away instead, so that second off will play passive. That's mostly in response to the fact that 3 players on Banana want to try and control this. They know that Astralis love this portion of the map, so playing aggressive as a result. Nice shot from Fallen, great timing. Glaive tried to step out and got absolutely obliterated by it. They're going to boost him back up as well. And Fallen, still one of the only... Ooh, that Molotov nearly causing problems as they failed to get up there 3 times now. Fallen does in the end. 3rd time's a charm. Device goes down. He's one of the only oppers that still likes to play that position CT side. He loves it. I really enjoy watching him towards B, and he ain't done just yet. He's still hunting big kills. The pre-fire through the smoke. It's going to be Mages stuck in towards those logs. Decent grenade. Still a recoverable situation there for Astralis. It's a 5-on-3 short, but remember, those double orbs sometimes can be problematic. If the bomb does get planted, they get that 1 kill they need to access the bomb site. It could be enough. Very standard setup here on the CT side. You see 3 players, crossfires on the bomb site here. Coldzera focusing towards quad, gets that 1 kill, falls back, repositions, but they're focusing on Arch, and you can see it's Tarek who's watching that with the M4, but no presence towards the actual CT spawn side or library. They could sneak through, but CTs will have a setup for that. I think it'll be Stewie who will be looking towards the CT spawn position as Dupree tries to show presence towards the A side. Great presence is found, certainly felt by Tarek. Gun barrel showing. Cold didn't respond to it. Wanted to make sure that no one was getting out of Palace in the meantime. Fur just destroyed, but just was able to swing in from library, and they weren't quite aware of that angle yet because they didn't think they were that far. As Cold only gets 1 second later, he might have had both on a lineup, but Magist gets the trade immediately. 6 seconds they're on the plant, not the defuse. That comes after potentially in a 2-on-2 retake. Fallen and Stewie. Now the defuse needs to be quick because they don't have the kit to speed it up when it actually does get into duration, and just finding one already. I don't think the second was spotted. Fallen still looking toward the pit. He's not going to have much to work with.
He has no kit here, and the AWP. He might be able to get one kill here, but surely he'll be traded out. Oh, he sees ahead of Mages. That's a kill. He can go for the quick scope here. My God, Fallen's done it. He pulls it off. He finds the kit, the defuse. That's definitely happening. The master of the sniper does it once again in another close range situation. That was brilliant.
What a pace on that. Slowed the shot down, knew that Magisk was there, and lined it up. He could have walled that. He was only on about 5 HP, but he still hits that shot. And brilliant prediction to find Dupree in the corner as well. Look at that.
Oh, there it is. Bad Fallen at the bottom as well.
He's got this kit beside the bomb. It was perfectly set up for him. So 3-2, Mibr pull the round back, and it's going to leave Device on just a deagle. 4 AKs only for Astralis. Once again, Banana, the point of contention early on. 3 Molotovs thrown out. 1 high from the Astralis side, and then 2 to cut off the entire lane from Mibr. This is going to be a battle, I think, for at least 8 or 9 rounds in this half before someone finally concedes and says, right, let's play a different style default. Whether they go to more toward the 3 on A for Mibr, or if Astralis finds a way to just put pressure. But this is going to be the early battle.
Oh, this is just warming up. This is the grand final we wanted. Fallen looking excellent. Astralis still, though, challenging him towards this B side of the map. He goes to the repeat. Absolutely fearless here as he continues to look for a boost. Anyone trying to knock him back. They got a Molotov, presumably, in the corner before they commit here. But this is what he's waiting for. He gets another kill. Just one step ahead every single time.
Great shot by Glaive, though, because Stewie was baited in off of that. Fallen takes 2, and they could almost slide out, but downed immediately. Late on the boost, but again, 2 players new box. This isn't common. Not gonna go for it. First thinking about it, but he's gotta be careful with that rifle. Orange is 2 already taken up by Glaive. And around the corner he goes. They both burn? Yeah. That actually was the nade came in afterwards and did the damage. The final tick from fire kills them both, and that allows the site and the plant.
They were going for the bait and switch. We normally see that towards Emo and the bomb's down. You have one player there with the AWP suggesting he's using new boxes. You kill him, you think that position's clear, then he can pop out. But if you Molotov it like that, I think they stack the mollies as well with nades, and there's no way Mibr can pull this one back. They are fully invested into this. Remember, Fallen, sure, he won the previous round, but only one player survives. Their money is done for, and out of nowhere, a round that didn't look possible, Astralis with a double Molotov win it.
Astralis would have been absolutely relieved to see 2 kills arrive there, because they would have thought only one was in that position. They were doing that as a standard procedure for clearing it. As soon as the second one came in, get the bomb down, round over, so they pull it back 4-2. No heroics from Fallen this time. 2 M4s carried over. 2450 and 1700, the amount of money that Cold and Tarek have, so just shy of bringing out a full rifle, but Cold's already brought over the UMP. So they will distribute the wealth. Fallen's going to be the one to have the SMG. They're probably hoping that he can build back up some cash to get an AWP out again soon.
Unbelievable scenes. Burn, baby, burn. We'll see round number 7 take place. It's a very difficult situation. Fur's got USP. Now a CZ, I've had to say, that doesn't look right. And he'll get a pistol in the end. This is everything from Mibr. They love a force spine for good reason. So much talent available. The aim is available in buckets and spades. We'll see whether they can do anything about this. But Astralis, they gave up around already the pistols. They don't want to do that again. Sure, there's a couple of rifles there, but they do have a massive upper hand here. Device now with the AWP. Just starting to get warmed up as they go for the B control once again. That seems what they're focusing most of their efforts. Like I said, Stewie known to play this bomb site alone most of the time. That was happening until his teammate rotates in. That's Fallen. Fallen with the SMG. Stewie with CZ up against 5 Astralis players hungry for another trophy. As all 5 wait on the other side. The flash is good. Device gives up the fact he's got the AWP in that position. No kill found, and that'll call for a rotation here from Fur. They've actually got manpower on this side.
Nade through does damage onto Fur. Beneficial for the take. Fallen with an nade back, doesn't quite go far enough. Ooh, bounces, yeah, didn't do anything. Got in behind the wall. I was gonna say, didn't quite go far enough to get it down the lane, over top of the wall. That might have done more damage with 3 players sitting low, waiting for the execution. Bounce Molotovs. Clear close side as well. Flash. Molotov's gonna spill the orange 1 and 2. Fallen steps up, that's 1 kill only on the USP. Stewie's got an AK in front of him, but he can't get that far. He's found by Magisk, and Zipix. Magisk has looked amazing on entries this tournament, by the way. I think this is one of his better in terms of finding the opening frags.
Absolutely agree. 4 players survive and looks at things once again as MIBR, another agonizing save for them. It's becoming a bit of a trend here on Inferno. Had a couple of scrappy victories, but once again, saving the M4s. And with the loss bonus only going to be the second stage after this one, that's $1,900. And that actually is such a problematic situation. You've got 2 M4s here and a CZ of armor. Are you just force buying again because you're like, well, we've got this. Do we just try and do the best what we can, but still you have the disadvantage and you throw the money away?
It's a super tough call because if you can get out the SMGs and build up a little bit, you're going to have a 3rd round bonus potentially afterward, and you want to try and keep Astralis' money honest. But at the same time, you're not going to have a perfect buy if you don't just bite the bullet and save.
Absolutely. I don't know what the best call is here. Those guys will have a much better idea than I will. We'll see whether they're going to invest or just maybe get Deagle armor on the 2 other players, try and drop whatever pistols they can, and see if that's the right call. I think a tactical timeout is definitely required here. It doesn't look like they're going to call for it.
Well, they had lots of time while they were saving potentially to talk about what they wanted to do with it, so they are going to bite the bullet.
So just 2 full EK players, not even P250s there, surprised at the fact they're going to get 2,400 next round. Did he kill the chicken? I
think he probably wanted to chase him away from mid, to be honest, to not reveal anything. If
well, no animals are harmed, at least.
Yeah, no animals were harmed. Device the first kill. Xyp9x has got a lot of pressure being applied, manages to withstand the first of it, but not the second, as Tarek will get the shot back. That's one of the M4s. Now, they know there's a gun down in that position. And from what we know, there's no one that was able to babysit that, so they could push up and try and grab it. Unfortunately, there's other things going on that require attention first, and Tarek actually gets another, so now it's 3-on-3. That gun is definitely still there, and Xyp9x is aware of it. Or excuse me, Tarek's aware of it. He's going to rotate around.
Device, this
get the AK.
Cost him his life.
Yeah, so 2 AKs picked up. Excuse me, that was Stewie. I thought it was Tarek. It was Stewie. So now they've got 2 AKs upgraded from M4. Fur's not going to be able to get one. He's locked inside of ruins.
Well, every second he waits behind his sandbags is going to guarantee the bomb, but he's got the kill on Device here. He's going to go for the knife as well. I think he probably should, considering their money situation. Oh, he lets his teammate die, unfortunately, for it. We do get the knife, the crowd pleaser. They might be able to go for this. No, his teammate's at T-steps, to be fair, so he won't save the AK for. He gets the knife, cost him his teammate, but still, they're going to have 2 rifles. That's what they started this round with, so it's actually better because they get AKs, right?
Exactly. Now, yes, the knife gets him the extra money. That's what you're thinking. However, it's actually more costly because if you had just killed him with the CZ, they have 3 AKs, which is more than the $1,500 you just made for doing that.
Indeed.
So I know he was thinking money, and it was the right thought process. It just...
bit unlucky.
Yeah, he didn't think it fully all the way through, unfortunately, not seeing that kill coming in. So either way, again, we talked about this. They saved it out. Cold's going to be the one of the AWP this time.
Yeah, this is when he takes matters into his own hands. Maybe he's got that good spawn. Can we check out Coldzera? Yeah, he wants to go towards middle here and see whether he can maybe open things up. Doesn't commit to the peak, so maybe he just feels like he's going to be more effective with the AWP towards middle than Fallen could be at B, because that's where they're really struggling right now. We're trying to change things up with a double rifle setup instead of Fallen on the AWP. As they leave, again, Stewie alone. He's got the AK this time, though. That's where he can do his best work. He can go and challenge for the jewels. He's hungry, he's aggressive. He wants to challenge them one-on-one. So the AK can actually have freedom to do that now.
Flashes, send the lots toward mid. Cold's in the corner with an AWP. They don't check it. Turn around. Oh my goodness, how does he get that? No scope. Nearly gets a 3rd because Glaive's distracted and he wants to get back out. But no further aggro on Glaive. He's got the lineup. That was impressive and almost depressing because they walked right by the AWP.
Yeah, that's a very overlooked spot. I don't know what it is about that position, but it always seems to happen. We will see 2 kills in the AWP. Coldzera seemed to have positioned himself perfectly as Tarek will try and fall back, dropping another incendiary there just to buy himself some time to get in a more defensive position, as now they'll go back towards B. Like we said, that's where they found most of their success here. They've only got 2 smokes, but that's fine. You can smoke towards Coffins and CT spawn. I just don't think that Astralis will be winning this round. Stewie is almost certainly going to get at least 1 kill, and then it's going to be, what, a 3-on-2 on the retake, and that should be enough time. Molotov perfectly deployed. They're going to have a real tough time getting through that.
Tarek swinging out. Enough damage on Device that Stewie, nice transfer as well, is able to take down Xyp9x. Glaive only on 1 HP against 4, so not likely this goes anywhere except the way of MIBR. 6-3. Stewie confirms it. Good round for him. All 3 in the site. Yanko likes that.
Yeah, that's what they need. They need a nice clean round. No bomb was planted on the Astralis side, and now they're starting to whittle away at that money. They're going to build their own. They've got 3 AKs on the CT side. Yes, a grim start, but they can absolutely bring this one back. It's 6-3, and Coldzera, like I said, I don't know what it is, man. We've casted so many games where this position's overlooked, and I don't know what it is about it, but it's a weird one. And Stewie, as mentioned, you're going to expect him to get at least a frag or two there. As we've got a little technical pause here, a chance to catch our breath and just work out what we've seen so far. It's been very exciting, some exhilarating rounds. That one from Fallen especially was absolutely fantastic, but still, even with an epic clutch like that, you'd expect him to have more than 3 rounds on the board right now, but still quite early days. Astralis with enough for a full buy of maybe one compromise in the form of Zipex. He's got $3,000. There's Yanko, waiting to see if they can topple Astralis on Inferno. Not many teams can, Matt.
Not many teams can at all. And remember that MIBR, despite that they have 3 rounds already, they struggle a lot with that banana position. We've seen it ever since, go back to the Star Series with G2 and the Nightmare with Phelps and Fur. It's something that they just don't ever get right. They're either too passive or too aggressive. So far this game, I've been impressed with it. They're using utility to hold Astralis at bay, and Fallen has looked excellent on the op in that position. So that's a change already that could lead to, you're right, the results, to finally someone taking down Astralis on Inferno. That's in a major, yeah, close enough. In a final of the ECS season. I mean, that's impressive in itself. They've had relative ease with finals so far, Astralis, this year.
Glaive. Seeing the flames encroach on his position, but he's absolutely fine. Gets to save his smoke. That might seem like a small detail, but in post-plant situations, smokes are king. So the fact that he can keep it there and avoid the damage is fantastic for him. So, nice default here. Haven't taken any damage. As Astralis, once again, dissecting this B side of the map. Molotov to push players back like Fallen. And it won't be him on the AWP again. It seems that they want coldzera to be AWPing towards middle. It worked before, got them that successful round, so why not? Tarek setting up the smoke for his teammates there, just to back them up. That's going to mean they have Fallen and Stewie there. Stewie still has his smoke as well, of a minute on the clock. So does Fallen and an incendiary. They are very well equipped. That's fantastic from Tarek, just very selflessly coming over, dropping a smoke, buying them some time, and that's going to actually boost the B-bomb site dramatically.
Glaive with a flash over, Device the one up close, smoked off, however, by the CTs. This buys some space. It's a pretty big gap.
Yeah, Device could actually creep through and go for a kill if he wanted to. But he is alone. He's just firing off shots there. You can see no targets in sight. He just wants to sell presence while his teammates go towards middle. Oh my goodness. Lucky to be alive there. Fur wasn't expecting a free kill like that.
No, nade out, walking into the cubby. Zipex will fall off of it, and the presence from Device will now be aided. He'll have some momentum behind it as Stewie sits on top of the coffins. Watch for Fallen flashing him in, trying to get the shot out. Smoke's still down. There'll be one in his face now, but he stays forward. That smoke's a little bit deep. I think Stewie had an angle. Magisk still finds the shot in return. Fallen, he's got to swing this perfectly. Baits out some shots, tries to get a pre-fire from Zipex, does. That gives him away the location, and now he's got Magisk as well. Brilliance from Fallen to figure out exactly where they were. Bomb still gets planted, but it's Dupree that has to go against 4. And he's already looking behind him to at least secure his position, so he has any chance at it. But they've cleared the site in the meantime. They know he's there. They've got him on an off angle, meaning they can hold this defuse, and he only gets 1. Fallen fittingly finds his 5th, an ace in the round.
It's all about that utility usage we pointed out in the mid stages of the round itself. The fact that Tarek set them up at about the 1 minute mark of another smoke that buys them 15 seconds, they can hold on to the utility. Right at the end there, you can see the smoke deployed. Astralis have to go through one by one, and they're not even challenging together. They're just making sure one peeks, takes the aggro away for the other. Stewie flashing them on Fallen goes for the pick, and you can see the clock just running down dramatically. Ivan said he can't plant. There was 4 seconds left on it. They get the bomb down, but it cost them everything as Fallen and Stewie just dismantle them. And we get into round number 11 here. There's going to be a partial by the CZs and the Deagles. But looking for kills here, and so is Tarek here. Wild spray, and he'll take down Device. So that's exactly what they wanted, but Fur doesn't seem to be falling back just yet.
Yeah, he's gone though. Does get Glaive, Forma just returned it. And this forces Cole to rotate quickly because, oh, that's brilliant, because they had to get back to the site. They had no one over toward the apartments as soon as Fur went down. They lost that whole side of the map, so he gets there in time to find a kill coming out from as Magisk wants to smoke, flash, drop in, has AK in position, knows where Tarek is on the site. Swollen, reverse side of the box, still front library, gets the shot back. Cold went down to his right. That, I think, gave Magisk the thought that he could use that to his advantage, but Fallen certainly ready, leaves us now with Dupree, and our round looks to bring us to 6-5. MIBR starting to really bring this close, and you said it. They're looking like they could potentially give Astralis a scare on this map. Remember, it's over past second, and if needed, and it might be Mirage.
Absolutely. I'm really excited for the map ball, actually. And MIBR looking sharp now. Like you said, a rough start, but now 3 rounds in a row. They're closing the gap. Inferno isn't as one-sided as it used to be. CT side, sure, you can maybe game for 8, 9 rounds. That's absolutely fine. They're definitely still on for that. as we'll see a tactical timeout, the first use, I believe. So it'll be Astralis to call it. We're going to see them considering their options. Zonic definitely wanted to get involved and give his thoughts on what he's seen so far. They are going to be buying up into this. As you can see, the AK is being purchased. He's got about 5k on Dupree. I don't think we'll see the AWP. Not really worth it on Inferno, especially when you can't really afford it. Mibr, though, kind of gone away from that double AWP setup. And ever since they have, you can see they've had a lot more success. I think you want to focus players like coldzera. He has picked up the AWP, but we want on the rifle as well. The double AWP setup, and it's not working against an execution-based team like Astralis, who are shutting you out and finding his great entries. You need the rifles there to be a little bit more dynamic, I think.
He doesn't really land. 12 damage over 2 players fallen. Stay with that AWP. This time, for the first time, they're actually going to leave him as a solo anchor. So that suggests to me that they're pleased with the way things are going on Banana, that they finally have the confidence that they've contained Astralis. And by leaving him there on that op, they can now strengthen up A. I knew it was going to take a few rounds to jostle for this position, but Mibr seemingly have done enough. Fallen checks. I don't think he spotted Device getting there. Now he does. No, he didn't. He didn't see it at all. He was off by at least a pixel. It's got to be that close. It was so narrow, the margin, but that's going to give him an AWP and a chance to try and work out exactly where they are at B, and they're not. Remember that. They have to rotate back, so it's only towards CT connector for Stewie.
There we go, a smoke down to try and get back on the bomb side there. It is going to be Stewie making his way back. Fallen was holding B by himself. That is a very common setup with the AWP. Get it towards the barrels, allowing you to have 4 players towards the A side of the map. But it falls apart if you lose that sniper. Luckily, there was only Device there, so they couldn't just collapse into the site and take over. So Stewie had time to rotate in, but again, he is there solo. This is a much different situation we had previously. There's no smokes available from Mibr now. A few flashes, an incendiary, and a 5-on-4 in favor of the Danes. They will finish up towards A here, but will they go for the execution or more of a contact approach here through the apartments? There's the flash. Very basic, and see if they can find the opening kills.
Xyp9x does. Cold corner. They don't check it. Oh, he nearly missed out on that. Cost him a lot more ammo than potentially it should have. Still with 16, he fired out but couldn't find Dupree as Fur gets the trade. It's bomb planted nonetheless, and Xyp9x holds up inside of the pit. That's going to be position that Stewie has to try to overwhelm. He's only got 2550 at this. They've got to buy in hand, but only if he saves this gun, because 200 for Tarek, 1750 for Fur.
Yeah, he needs to save, and they've got a decent buy. He's just looking for an on-probing now and seeing if there's an exit frag potential. Their money's very weak on the Astralis side. Every kill he does get at this point will actually be incredibly valuable. Looks like he fancies his chances, not of the round, but of finding a few kills. Gives his position up, and that might cost him now. How does he get out of this spot? I'm not really sure. It's going to be Glaive to take him down. He doesn't get anyone with a bomb blast either, so expensive situation. Still a buy nonetheless. I think they can get the AWP out for sure. Fallen with $8,000 here. So I assume this is a timeout at this point. It looks technical to me. Yes.
Yeah, it is indeed. That's 7-5.
You see on the scoreboard there a couple of players missing off the server. So
yep.
I assume we've had a bit of a dropout. Just restarting Steam, Matthew. So nothing's going to be alarmed.
They ran out of steam, Henry.
Indeed. But it will be another round on the board for Astralis there, courtesy of an opening pick from Device. There was nothing tactically brilliant about that. He was just in position. Fallen wasn't quite watching the angle. He opens things up.
Yeah, he was shoulder picking it. At the exact second he disappeared, Device crossed.
So just a small nuance there as to why Device got the kill. And then, like we said, a simple approach towards the A site. 3 players in the apartments, 1 flashbang. I think they had a smoke towards Library as well. And they get out, find the opening kill. That was Xyp9x. And coldzera, again, Astralis seem to be overlooking a lot of common positions there. We saw coldzera right in the corner. A lot of CTs play there. Astralis didn't even check it in all the chaos, and that could have cost them the round. But they are very good at landing on their feet in these sort of situations. They managed to put it off in the end. And it will be 7-5 on the T side of Inferno. Looking great for them so far. Definitely the favourites here. Mibr had a very turbulent season as they try and define this roster, work out what the roles are within the team, what are the maps that are good. And it seems to be such a question mark around so many areas of their play. But now getting deep in tournaments regularly, it seems. And this is a grand final against the world's best. A fantastic opportunity to showcase the development of the squad.
Money as it is, that's the bigger call for Mibr, having not saved over the M4. Getting deep in the half as we are about to start, any second surely, about to start round 13. It's Dupree we're waiting on. Fortunately, his gun's still on the ground in spawn. They'll be able to resume without doing too much medicing once we get in. Yanko has to stay silent this whole time. That must be hard on him.
Yes, absolutely. I think you might be right there. But yes, we are hopefully getting everything back underway. We've got 9 players on now. There's Dupree. His numbers currently set up 4-9. He definitely hasn't had the best tournament run here by his standards by any means. I would say he would admit that as well. But his teammates have gone above and beyond the moments than they are required to. You mentioned Majors. He's looked fantastic. Zipex great as usual. Device always going to be up there. So consistent. Really, really well done. Yanko's called for a timeout there. So he wants to talk. He wants to get stuck in here.
Fair play. That actually makes sense given the circumstances, knowing what we knew about the money. So yeah, he's telling Fallen, please actually call a timeout now, because during the technical they can't even do that. So this will turn from a technical to a tactical. That'll give us 30 seconds more in which they can talk. And then freeze time will commence.
Yes, you are right there. Yanko obviously wants to give his 2 cents on the current financial situation. They can, so just to kind of context, they can buy 2 orbs that they really wanted to, but remember I did mention that doesn't really seem to be working out too well for them. But in this sort of scenario, when you can maybe only get SMGs to go along with the orbs, maybe that could be the right call. Get a bit more aggressive, try and go for this first picks. Fallen does look sharp today, but we're getting to the latter stages now, round 13, it's still only 5. I'd say they do need to win the half to stand a chance here. It's that T side is where we've commented in the past and said, it's only coldzera. If he steps up and gets like 20 kills in the half, that's when they actually look very good. It's very important he has good performances in Inferno. Otherwise, they look like it's not actually an amazing map for them. But obviously, with the veto process, they had to get rid of Nuke. And playing Inferno against Astralis isn't the most exciting prospect for them. But we'll see if they can stick the landing here in the first half at least. As everyone's back on the server, can confirm that. I assume with restarting Steam, we'd have to get the phones out and everything like that, so we're going to take it a little bit longer. And we've got 10 seconds, Matthew. The only last word you'd like to say before we get back into the action?
Nope.
Nope, that's it.
Let's get it going.
Well, Yanko does
some
get
fun
a chance
on the stage today.
You did. Looked like a lot of fun. We had some fun on the desk as well.
It's the loudest casting I've ever heard you doing.
My voice hurt so much. I'm not going to be able to talk tomorrow. But that was fun.
It's fine. We only have another event that we have to fly to literally tomorrow, Hank.
Yep.
You'll have lots of time to recover.
We're going to have the AWP. Like I said, it is a difficult buy, and they do go for the double orbs. It makes sense. You've got 3 lesser weapons. In this sort of setup, I don't mind the double orb. We'll see whether it works out for them. I do want to see a bit more aggression, perhaps, so, and try and get Fallen in an advantageous position where he can go for those initial kills. Device will have to extinguish that. Incendiary at the start of the round barely takes any damage from it, though. It's not a huge deal. They're 3 towards the B side of the CTs, and they're being proactive as well. They want to use this close-range weaponry, and it will be Fallen take down Device. I think through the smoke, but blinking now missed it. Dupree on the other side of the map, looking for the second. coldzera hits the shot, and there's Dior looking towards the apartments now.
He's well aware of the fact that there's a second player inside the apartment, so he changes his angle accordingly with that smoke. He's also aware that Zipex smoked strictly to get inside of the pit. Look at Cold Dance as he goes back through a triple, gets spotted in the end by Glaive. Nearly a chance to get all of them to shut them down with a 4 kill, but Glaive now, named Demoto, knows Tarek's in there, but dinked up in return.
Barely.
6 damage from that dinks. Astonishing. Smokes himself off. One is approaching quad, but he knows that's his invitation to try and get a bomb down there. Going to approach. Can't even find the shot towards Stewie. Good play from MIBR. Fantastic play by Cold.
Yeah, love that. There's those orbs coming out and doing a good job. You can see they're trying to funnel them towards coldzera. The fact he's waiting in such a great position as well. He hit some fantastic shots. Look at it go. Zipex found the opener, but it wasn't quite enough. And that CT push towards the B side of the map. 3 players there, SMGs, make them uncomfortable. And Fallen, I believe, got a kill through the smoke to get Device. That's a great way to open things up, of course. And that's going to put MIBR right back in the race, because that shut down the money of Astralis. A tactical timeout from them. We're going to see a lot of those throughout this series. Remember, this is the grand final. And I'll make sure the coaches are involved in dissecting everything and helping the team out. With $3,000 available and first stage loss bonus, I don't think they'll buy, because with the 2K coming in next round, they'll be able to get AKs out and armor. So I think they'll just take maybe a very modest investment of P250s, perhaps.
Let's see how they approach it. Good win from MIBR after, again, forcing out the double op setup, making it work, and now escaping the fate of economic crisis, a recession, if you will.
This is such a gamble play from Astralis. If they win it, they reset the money back, and they probably win the half 9-6. They lose this, they almost certainly won't pick up another round.
Yeah,
so.
and 7 T-side's fine, but not at this level. I mean, you want to get every single round that you can. I understand the mentality behind it, but it is a risk, certainly. Single AK only for Dupree. They're going to have to be explosive when they go to a site.
Against those double orbs, maybe that's why they've done it, because they know they can go for an execution here and make those a little bit less useful. As coldzera, you feel like he's going to hit shots here. No problem whatsoever. Dupree.
That's a smart way to deal with the double op. If they're going to try and go execution-based, go aggressive, get into a different position.
Yeah.
Catches them out immediately. They can't even get to a point where they're setting up for a take and down a man already. Thankfully, the AK does transfer over. Xipix is able to pick it up. Now rotate back down toward Banana. They haven't put any pressure on that side of the map as of yet. They have no information whatsoever as to what's going on toward the barrels, toward the bags, if there's anyone playing aggressively. And without that information, they also can't really tell if they've gone for an early rotation, which, as we can tell on the mini-map, you can conclude for yourself. 8 seconds on it. Incendiary covers off Boiler Door. That allows a bit more aggression in the position of Fur. Can slide out and stand underneath the roof when they walk out from the mid wall. He's also got a chance to take away the aggro, and Stewie can slide back as well. He's back to go all the way now. He wants to just get to the cubby early as Tarek. Position to support all of it, stays below, shoots straight up but can't find the angle. Cold's missed as well. This gives the AK a chance. Xipix finds one device, overwhelms Fur, and now they flood onto the site. Exactly what they needed to do with lesser weapons, and suddenly it's level. A 2-on-2, but you're right, no bomb. 7 seconds, it can't even get there. Can it? It's gonna have to be perfect. It's gonna have to be, no, it's too late. Oh, that might be, it might be, but not with the AK in position. Time is gone. It was about a tick too late, and 7-7 MIBR.
Great effort there from Astralis, but ultimately did not win the round. They get that bomb down as a serious chance of winning out in the 1 versus 1, but great frags did not equal victory. It will be now the final round of the half. Got 1 AK-47, but Xipix, he's still got $1,000 there. Did you not want to drop? Okay, he's got a few more residual grenades to buy, so that's fine, and we'll see whether this will be enough to win the final round. It's going to be a Xipix AK, 4 CZs, and back to the single orb setup here, as we'll see MIBR try and close things out. Good grenade at the start. Fallen again. I think that's a straight up wallbang to take down device. The headshot. It's only one of the pistol players. Not the worst frag to lose, but still, Fallen has got 16 frags in this half. That's pretty remarkable.
Rival chance begin. Reasonable support on both sides, it sounds like. MIBR 8 rounds. CT side is significant because we've talked about the problems that they have defensively. More so, Astralis hasn't had the most convincing CT sides, in all fairness. This first map could actually go the way of the Brazilian core.
Oh, yes.
With the only 2 Americans in the final. The 2 Americans that actually made it through to the playoffs, to be precise. And it looks to be the execution with 4 players up.
They'll give it everything they've got here. Molotov, Smokes, up against Fallen and Stewie as usual. They seem to be aware though. Fur rotating in with the decoy in hand. Here comes the Molotovs. The execution is looking pretty decent so far as they boost players up. Fallen out of position. How has he hit that? Blind as well. As he fades away, he shuts the round down. It's going to be 1 frag in return from Xipix here, but surely they're not going to get away with this one. It would take something absolutely disastrous to happen at this point. The bomb is going to be planted in Dupree. Oh, what? Through the smoke, finds another. All of a sudden, it's a 2-on-2, and they've got a real chance here.
7 HP, Dupree hits that shot. Bomb planted. Cold's got to get back in. That's giving them everything they need. No kits for Cold or Tarek to work with. Fallen may have had one down inside of the site. It may just be around the corner where in which Xipix is playing from, but Dupree, AWP with that low H. Health won't matter. He can pick it all. He finds Cold as well. That's pretty smart because he can hold that weapon. He can hold the angle. 4 kills for him, and it goes 8-7. Astralis pull it back.
That's so sick from Dupree. I don't know how they've managed to do it. The full execution. A 5-on-4. They had CZs and 1 AK-47. This man considered the secondary AWP now of Astralis. Oh my goodness. Absolutely rails Stewie through the smoke. Then hits every single shot. Looking better and better with this weapon every time I see him pick it up. And we'll get into the second half as Astralis steal away that last round. Amazing scenes here. We've been treated some great clutches so far. And we'll see if we're going to have any more. I'm sure there's plenty more to come. And looking at the CT setup now for Astralis, we'll be right back into the action. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This one's just warming up. Your grand final continues here as Astralis on the CT side. They've got 1 smoke, no kits, and a CZ for Glaive. And it looks like a fast B rush here. The 2 HEs give it away. They needed the start to push back any CT aggression, and they won the fight here. Xipix knows it. He knows what those nades mean. And they'll be smoking in very quickly here and presumably committing, but no. They use the HEs to get the presence, and I'm not sure what's going to happen here. I thought that'd be the full commitment. If you're going to expend almost all the utility you brought up, smokes, HEs, flashes, and then you don't commit. They'll get a fall back towards A here. They have one smoke remaining.
Certainly keeps them on their toes, though. You can see the rotation as a result of it. Jisk was already back towards Speedway. Let's have a chance to overwhelm on A. He's backside arch. Dupree forced into the sights. Chicken still trying to work away from him. Keep him in mind. Epic's holding, waiting for the push through, finds one. Second one toward Library. It's going to be Jisk with the crossfire, and they each find a kill plus another two for Zipix as he turns around, somehow staying alive. Smartly turned away to make the hitbox a little bit smaller on his head, and then absolutely was ready to fight as soon as the reload was done. Stewie's left in a 1-on-4. No chance for them, as Astralis is going to take a 9-7 lead, plus the pistol. Both pistols now going their way. Stewie will do what he can. Further damage. There's 3 that are extremely low, 36. You may be able to isolate this to Ruins. Has device. Bomb still down towards CT. You can see Zipix immediately running back. Hang on, we got to hold on to that.
Yeah, well, they're going to try and run the clock down as low as they possibly can at this point. And that's the right thing to do. They've actually let the bomb go. So they know Stewie can't just run up and pick the bomb up, right? He's going to assume players are dead. This is a massive risk, but oh my goodness, I thought he had another one. So MIBR go for the banana rush. I assume that was the call. I don't see what benefit they'd have faking that with all 5 players. They've got no presence towards A. They seem to cancel it. I feel like they'd have to commit with that. You use the HGs, the smokes, the flashbangs. You have nothing really left as they go through the CD spawn and find the meat grinder has fallen. Really should have got that frag on Zipix, but unfortunately didn't work out for him. It's going to be 9-7. Astralis, you are absolutely right. Pick up the pistol, but remember, MIBR love to force buy in that second round. We're seeing a scout already, and our good old friend TeamSpeak has had an issue, Matthew, so we're going to wait a little bit here.
Let's see if they can get it sorted. Starting to wonder if it's Sonic, because he's trying to lean in and speak to Dupree rather than communicate through the comms. So get it sorted either way. As always, Henry, it's your favorite program.
It is. I really might have to start a campaign to find a new bit of software to handle this. Why don't you
just build one? Then you can just sell it to everyone.
That's probably a good idea.
And then you can invest it in cryptocurrency and Tesla and run away to the hills.
That's
Tommy will help
the best
you do it.
of all the worlds combined. That's great. Well, it will be 9-7. Like I said, the force by coming in. The guys are purchasing up. I can see Orcs coming out. Device, remember, throughout this tournament, Matt, he actually is another player embracing the new weapon. I saw you have a go of it in the show match. How did you feel?
Let's not talk about that round. The gun felt great. The round felt not so great.
Fair enough. We're seeing, though, a slow development, though. It's actually a very viable weapon in the competitive scene, and certain maps really lend itself to it. Especially Inferno. If you hold like coffins or apartments with the Orc, there's great headshot positions there, and we'll see if he can start lighting it up. Remember, though, force by Scout for Fallen, and Deagles on his teammates. Coldzera looking to find heads. This is his home map. I love watching Coldzera on Inferno. He definitely can make them victorious here in the second round. We'll see what happens.
Here's the nades starting off. It's smokes, so they don't go quite as aggressive with the airstrike as we formerly have seen from Astralis in rounds. They do have the massive weapon advantage, but Fallen, again, we talked about this as well with the Scout. We saw it on Nuke. You don't necessarily have to get the kills with it on these rounds. You want to just get as much damage as you possibly can to allow the pistols to then capitalize on it. It is Fallen. He's more than capable of headshots, but both will suffice. Glaive gets pushed down, clears it out. Didn't need a lot of utility to do so this time. Meanwhile, back over toward the top side of mid. That is where MIBR wished to strike. But just one waiting toward pit. He'll fall off it, very efficient in that position. I think he's got a smoke down in front just currently to make sure he can push out through, but he's heading in the direction of Fallen, put him on 10 already, and that's what the Scout, that one's going to put him down. No chance he escapes that one. That range, that low HP, but watch Glaive. Remember, he got here without utility. He's got an overwhelming amount of players in front of him. Zipix tries to help in that position, get the crossfire set up. He still finds 2 for 1, but it's going to give at least one gun to now complement the Scout.
Well, still 30 seconds remaining. They know exactly where they are. And Dupree with the position. Probably doesn't find the kill there, considering he's got the MP9, but does a lot of damage towards Tarek, and that might dissuade them from going for this. But to be fair, they need the cash, so I assume they'll just run in and try and go for a plant here. Drop a smoke to gain them access towards the site. Actually worked out horribly because that's not taking any vision away. In fact, just blocked theirs.
Absolutely does.
Not great.
Yeah, and at this point as well, with 2 on 4, not a lot of time left in the round, with picking up an SMG, you can farm a bit of cash with that. And you can certainly cause reinvestment, because now we do go into the gun rounds. Ooh, I take that back. They went a little more aggressive on the force, didn't they? What am I saying? So it's only 25-50. That was pre-injection on the cash. This will give reasonable chance as well. What's Glaive going to do with 45-50? Probably go immediately M4. They're not going to try and get an op early. Device is comfortable on that AUG.
Go right, boys. Always
always
go right.
pass on right. Why is that hard? I think Pimp and I did that in the show match, to be fair. What am I saying?
Yeah.
It's probably my fault too, let's be honest.
We're going to see Glocks and PD50s here. No armor. That really was the nightmare scenario. If you force buy in that second and you don't get the plant out of it, you're going to be hamstrung now going forward in this half. And they've already lost both pistols. And it's going to be 11-7 after this round. If they can get a plant down, I'll be very impressed. But Inferno just doesn't really lend itself to cheeky plants here. Maps like Train we talk about because you have that inside prospector pushing in the lower ramp. All five can overwhelm the one player. But Inferno, that's not really an option. You really do need smokes and flashbangs to remove vision from the CTs and push them back towards their spawn positions all on the bomb site. As we'll see the 5-on-3 underway. A couple of flashes. Fallen wanted to try and get them toward the bomb site, but it looks like they'll get absolutely nothing out of this. Zipex continues to apply the pressure as he'll be flashed off, doesn't need to overcommit. And the Orb probably going to find its first kill, not quite. And there it is. Clean round for Astralis, plenty of money in the bag. And now it's up to Mibr to try and answer back. They have about 5k per player. I don't think they'll bring the AWP out unless Fallen wants to go glass cannon.
They do bring the AWP out for Device, though. He is going to swap it over. Dupree was capable of doing so, and he'll take the AUG. He's comfortable with it as well. And it's Fallen that's still making a decision. T-side AWP for Fallen hasn't been as promising as it certainly showed to be on the CT side this map, but he's capable. He's quick. If he's having a game like he is right now, everyone on his team has 9 kills, by the way, except for him. He has 18, so he's double everyone else.
You're right. That's kind of weird, isn't it?
He is twice as good as all of his teammates.
Exactly, on the nose. Well, there it is. You can see Yanko trying to fire them up. They have got 5 AKs. They're considering the AWP purchase, but it's not going to happen. We've already explained that in the first half. It's not massively impactful in the mid stages of Inferno. It can be difficult to work picks of it. It's better to have more dynamic teamwork with the 5 AKs, unless you pick the AWP up and you feel like you can exploit one of their defenses as Device will certainly have it. Look at the cash available for him as well, almost 7k fully invested with the AWP. Throws the incendiary at the start to stop players getting towards that underpass position, but Stewie, very efficient. He's going to get the kill here, no problem. He's going to take Zipex down. Can they get the response though? They certainly can. Great teamwork, good flashbang. You see that incendiary following up as well as locking Stewie in position.
Glaive back around the corner, smoke deep, and Molotov close. He's able to clear. Minute 26. There's no guarantees on that side of the map, but they are going to put him low. He's been getting aggressive now twice already. We saw with the UMP just 2 rounds ago, and that's a short amount of rounds for already on this CT side that he's been there. And normally they don't get that aggressive with it. They clear, but they hold toward the top side. So a bit of a change of play from Astralis in that regard. His Device now forced off, has to go inside of the site. They will obviously have an anchor still toward pit. And that's going to be Majisk. This is Dead's Fallen, and it's worked out twice that he's gotten kills in that position, Glaive. And that's all for sale, though. Back over toward pit. Oh, Majisk flashed off. He's got another down, but Molotov's going to force him out. They've got the angle. He's got the AUG. He's got a kill. Fur gets one back, and Device's smoke. This should give them the bomb plant at the very least. Nade not going to do any further damage because it goes far and they go safe inside of the site. They'll likely burrow on top of it as well. Smoke for quad. That allows Fur to at least focus. He can transition on this as well, and he goes wide side triple to get back to pit.
Actually give MLBR a slight advantage here. With the fact they have this lovely crossfire setup, they bought themselves some time with that decent smoke as well. There's not really much utility in the Astralis side. This would be difficult. 2 of the best players in MLBR in position, full HP, waiting to receive Astralis, who will commit now.
Flash goes over. Fur's not caught by that. Dupree, though, does get the first. He's not in a position where the bomb is planted for him, but he is in a position to capitalize on 2. They're on the defuse.
Yeah,
Device is so low on HP, but he's going to hold the angle, and you're right. Fur just couldn't step wide enough to ever see that defuse for Glaive. He could have held that all day, whether or not Device won the duel.
You're absolutely right there. Valiant effort, but the bomb just in an awful position. They didn't feel comfortable when they're going for the plant. Wasn't ideal. It was a nice looking crossfire there, but couldn't hit that initial shot. And it will be 12-7. Yanko doesn't look happy.
4 straight rounds Astralis on this, their CT side. None for Mibr thus far.
You're absolutely right there. Mibr still with the bomb down. They have another buy available. This is maximum loss bonus now, remember, even with the 4-0, because obviously you get double the cash now after losing the pistol. Or I shouldn't say double, you get $500 extra than what you used to. And that carries on and counts as an extra loss bonus, as we'll see now. AK's come forward, trying to get them rallied up and back into this game. Remember, it normally takes a godlike Coldera performance on their T side to really get them over the finish line, and we'll see if this is it. Device now just shy of $10,000. as we enter round number 20. Looking quite bleak here from MIBR, but still plenty of time left.
Dupree to mid, AK in hand, and no one even looking at him. He's going to go the whole way around the corner. They didn't even check it. Falling gets a response. That could have easily been 2 for Dupree.
Yeah, that was dicey.
I would have thought the ears would have perked up at some point when he gets that close, but nade goes deep. Fallen tagged on 6. It's still a 4-on-4. You would think favoring MIBR. Now, I do always think that Inferno is one of the maps that similar to Nuke, a trade doesn't always favor you in the same way because you can still anchor toward the B site, so they still have 3 on A, and the low HP actually gives that position, gives the advantage still to Astralis. Great shot from the device up close, nearly found a second, but cold. He manages to hold his composure. He's got 2, and a bomb to be planted to work with Fallen.
Same position as last time, remember. This is the plan that led them down. They've got a smoke, though, towards that library position. Fallen 6, Cold 64. They're both on the bomb side, no one in the pit. They have another smoke, which they'll deploy, but still, it's Zipex and Glaive, 2 of the best clutches in CSGO right now. Surely they're going to take this one.
Glaive on the Vespa, gets high, tries to work over the smoke. That gives him the angle on Cold. Fallen, look how clever he's being. Oh my. Standing in the smoke, is he? Yeah, I think he's lagged out. I think this is actually, oh, he's not. Okay, he is being clever. He was sitting there forever, and he wants to sneak back in. They had no idea he was there, but Glaive somehow spots him as he'd already checked the pit. If that worked, that would have been genius. I even thought he was gone.
Yeah, I was like, oh God, has that actually happened? But no, it was just sitting in the smoke as long as possible. A 10-second defuse there, really not ideal, but look how smart the positioning is, the timing. It's just beautiful to watch, and Fallen, great approach. Nice idea, just couldn't quite find the shot required to get that.
I think it was Rush, like 3 years ago, had a famous clip.
They're sitting in the smoke.
Dust 2, corner. They smoked out from Cat, he just sat there. They all ran by, he popped out and killed like 4 of them instantly. This is another push down mid. Tarek this time does get Dupree. That's a nade, probably, that even I could have thrown device. Not going to say anything too careful here. Didn't quite work out for him. Couldn't get the shot back, but look at the damage again. This still favors Astralis. 13 rounds, and money's still getting dire. They did get the plant last round that injected a lot more cash into them, the extra $800. Good fight from Stewie. They need that desperately at this point in the round. Zipex can't afford to be aggressive on this, so he's going to be very passive on Banana. That'll allow them to work back over in this direction and potentially give them execution as well. They've got 2 smokes still to work with, 3 flashes, a Molotov in the hands of Fur, and if they wanted, in the hands of Cold, where Cold has the bomb. They can get him in quick enough, they'll even potentially have a Molotov left over for the post plant.
Such low HP, and they're heading towards the B side, so we've had lots of aggression there. I respect them as Astralis. When you have this huge buffer of rounds in the bag, why not try to get stuck in there and surprise them and shut down any adaptations they're making? Zipex at the smoke as well, that's lovely.
It is lovely, but this is exactly it. Zipex, they say this, admittedly, that he plays the hardest positions on the team, and he often has to anchor. He was alone. If they had gone through, if that smoke didn't come down, that would have been the round in itself. Now at least he gets device to the site, but he's gonna have to push through the smoke, be very aggressive on this. They could fake it back, 28 seconds. This would be a really dicey mid-round call, but it's all due to the fact and position of Tarek. He's up toward the arch, unsighted, 20 seconds. All they have to do is find Magisk, but likewise, all he has to do is play the time.
Yeah.
So he's gonna wait it, spots them, that'll slow their approach. Bomb is on the quad side, 12 seconds, they've got 6 to the plant. Magisk gets high again, smoke down, that extinguishes the Molotov. He can't quite find the planter, so they will at least cover it off. Good smokes to do so. All they needed to do was isolate him. They had already cleared the other side, and now the retake is on, and he's still alive in this.
I don't know
but
how.
He's being watched like a hawk. It's actually kind of clever. MIBR just avoided him. Smoke him off, let's get the bomb down. That's #1 priority.
They're not even that worried about him, are they? It's like, they can't kill us, so
it's
we'll
almost frustrating. If you're Magisk right now, you're going to be super frustrated. You're relying on the aggro from your teammates, and they're taking their time getting there. Just to the front of Library now. He'll pop to find Cold. Still spraying through, hoping that he can get a few wall shots onto the weekend. Fur jumping up, device can't get the aim. Tarek holds it off. That's very well done from MIBR.
Yeah, really touch and go, I have to say. The fullback from B after showing so much there. Could have gone either way. Mage is considered one of the best pit players we have in the game right now, and the fact he only gets 1 is surprising. I thought he would be good for 2 there, but very well done. MIBR calculated and calm in that situation, allowing him to stay alive and then waiting for the retake to come in. Great positioning, and it will be their first round on the T side. They need to avoid this reset, man. It can't happen here. They need to stay alive, and I don't think we'll see as much aggression from the CT forces this time. Good grenades, though, as Glaive will be taking down a 64.
Stewie, yeah, I didn't think there was going to be a gap there. He's trying to hug the wall. Stepped on one of the 2 Molotovs, down to 20 HP. No further nades will capitalize on that. If a single nade went in that direction, they would have had it fallen. Great shot on Glaive. Wow. We know Glaive likes to peek that position. We saw so yesterday. So this time, unlike the last few rounds, they haven't had to compensate for a trade and a deficit in HP. They've got the advantage to work with. Xyp9x now alone yet again on the B side. Bit of a cheat leading the bases, if you want to call it that, from dupreeh as he gets back over. One to bait and one to play. Remember when the cart used to be here and the one-way smoke? Kreese used to be a master at this angle. It's very different now, to be fair. Flash out. It's very different for Xyp9x as well because he can't even see it. dupreeh high and dry. He's able to take down Stewie. Teryx found Magisk. That's on the off-sights. That's on a work. Good play from Cold. That opens up potentially the site, but no smoke down. Device gets one more.
Oh, they got to fall back, and that's what he's doing as well.
That's actually true. He got the one pick, but he's alone, and therefore was actually thinking about saving. Yet they're going to rotate back over because once again, Teryx the one that has the archway. Device could actually surprise them here.
He's going to get a kill depending on the timings. It's going to be Tariq, who surely... Oh, God. Not sure they spotted him there, but it looks like that's enough for Device.
Yeah, he thinks that if they have, it's not even worth it. This op's going to be valuable for them because now we go 13-9, and we're getting into that very tedious time for the CTs where they're trying desperately to chase the money.
They have to have an eco here. So, a great chance for Mibr to bring this one back. 2 great rounds there. This shot from Fallen, I don't even know how he does it. And he will get that opening kill, and it's the response to it. I love this from coldzera. The fact Stewie went in looking on the bomb site itself, and coldzera there using that information. Great comms as he goes in and takes down the boosted player. It is a full eco here. They will have a buy next round with $2,400 coming in per player. Won't be the best buy, but certainly won't be the worst. We'll see Stewie trying to push them back with the HEs. This should be a foregone conclusion. We should have Mibr finding double digits, so potentially by even dropping a player. Just need to make sure they trade out kills. No one needs to commit by themselves towards middle or B. Just try and get some intel. It's a restack towards B, sort of 3 players there, but shouldn't be too hard to handle.
Molotov clears orange 1. That's fine. Device. He's hanging out with the fishes. He will transition, or the glaive will at least behind him. Being very patient to watch CT, but that will now be smoked flashing, maybe, because they have pistols. Device picks some damage in, tries to blend in with the statue. Looked like he's immortalized in that position, but he actually is just going to go down. Cold will take out glaive as well. Burr was waiting the whole time, and waiting shall yield results. He now gets a kill that's going to certainly secure, if the others weren't convincing enough, that Mibr is going to get double digits, so it'll go 13-10. Again, this is where Astralis has to be very careful of the money. This will be a 3rd round bonus. They'll be able to buy in the next. dupreeh trying to show off his game sense.
Gets the headshot, but that's it. They give away 1 frag. Absolutely fine in that respect, but there it is, double digits. So Astralis, that big lead they built up after losing 3 rounds in a row. The gap has been closed, and this actually looks possible now for Mibr. So Yaka looks a lot calmer. He knows they have the advantage here. Astralis with the tactical timeout, discussing their options. They are going to buy. But are they going to go for more aggression towards middle? Are they going to move the AWP around and see if Device can be as successful as he has been all tournament on Inferno? He has not purchased the AWP. It doesn't look like it'll be dropped either. They don't really have the resources to pull it out.
AK's falling this time. Has the option of the op. I think there's an AK down for him. Stewie, is it spawn-based? T-side up for Stewie? I'm imagining, yeah, I was going to say, imagining it has to be at that point.
He presumably just goes and straight up faces banana or holds the T-steps and awaits a Device pick. Those are his 2 options, really. And it looks like he will be challenging a B. Going to drop the smoke to deny the incendiary. Molotov in as well. And looking for that pick, no one there to find. But still, he has got banana.
He was almost too... Yes, okay, job done in that sense. But he was almost too good at taking the position. That Molotov that he threw out, as well as the self-preserving smoke, forced them off too quickly. But you're right, look at that nade, down to 40 HP. I would have expected at this point they would have switched it back, but they actually want to go aggressive toward the top of middle. Cold, the only one that gets a kill. dupreeh sprays down with 2. And Fallen still sitting back on the AK, has Stewie rejoin him, but they're down by 2 men. And Astralis with guns back look to find 14. Put themselves within 2 of closing out on map number 1. Overpass is next.
Scary prospect again.
Fallen will work first. Still haven't switched the gun back. They're going to leave it at this point. Stewie seemingly happy to hold on to the AWP. Certainly capable at times. We've seen that in the past. Certainly on this map at the Major in January. Jisk Peeks out in spots too. Nades will do further damage.
Maybe not.
Went inside the site, not out. If it had gone outside, it would have potentially put them down to within red HP, both of them, because they were close enough together. Stewie's starting to be aware that timing is working against them, and there could be someone in behind. 2 in the pit's going to be a problem. Yeah, Dupree easily able to spray on that with the information, even if they isolate Magisk. Stewie tries to find one, but there's the arrival of Zipex. 14 for Astralis.
Absolutely true. Astralis now touching distance of picking up the first map in this best of 3. You'll see that spray down working in tandem there from Quad. There's a player at Arch as well that's raining down hell through the smoke, finding so much damage as well. And Stewie had already taken that meaty grenade at the very start. So it was difficult for Fallen himself to actually do anything about it. You can see the money, if they lose this round, not only be map point, they'll have nothing left as the Gorillas pours out. But there is Fallen in towards that underpass. Device has his sniper as well. As the battle rages on here at B, the banana area has become a fortress for Astralis these days. Very difficult to flush them out of position, as it will be Device and Zipex this time with the AWP on the B side. They'll flash him off, but fires off a shot. Does that connect? Was that hit on Fur? No, it was not. So they managed to get Device off the corner at least. And a good grenade should do reasonable damage here to Dupree. Might as well stay there now, he's committed.
Yeah. Wouldn't be worth it to lose the HP and not play the position. Make it worth it. If we can get a kill, that's for sure. It looks like we'll go back over toward A as well. The smoke will be a bit of a problem for Device, so instead he'll Molotov it to try and get...
Awful.
Yeah, really. Scoped in, didn't see that it was spreading there, did he?
I think he was hoping that the fact if he sits in the flames, the CTs might think it's safe, and he'll take a risk there, but yes, it didn't work out either way. And they'll go back towards the B side. That's a brave move. Like we said. Zipex now and Glaive, who is the usual player. Device has gone back towards the A site. But they're so good, these two. I'm not sure how he shut them down. Ball and the timing there, that's so close. But it does pull off a rotation. You can see Glaive has left Zipex now. So he doesn't get the kill, but it's enough to buy them some time here.
With 19 seconds, absolutely. We're going to gamble on it. Zipex! Nearly had a chance to line them up, gets one. Glaive still found one as well through the smoke. That's bomb, and Stewie's low. He didn't spray in to find him that time. If he had, it might have been the round in itself. Instead, Stewie sees the tracers and punishes him for it. It's a 3-on-3. And Mibr with the sight with the bomb down. Astralis with very little to work with in terms of utility. They have a kit from Magisk. They've got a lot of work to do, and Device has found a fall and just holding the angle with patience. Didn't buy the bite on the shoulder bait, so now it's going to be Magisk swinging back in. Bomb. The AWP is, I was going to say, bomb 2 for gone. The AWP is all they want, but Fallen well aware that that M4 hit the deck, and he's able to close it out.
Well, there it is. Somehow they managed to make the round work there. It was looking disastrous with the bomb down in the smoke and spawn. The sound cues Glaive had available to him. I thought he was going to get the kill on Stewie 2K. He goes down to that Galil. The must-win round for Mibr comes in, and it's going to reset Astralis once again, who only saved one AK-47. That's in the hands of Dupree. A frustrating round there for the Danes. And we'll see if they take the full eco out. I assume they will. It's going to allow Mibr to get really, really close at this point to tying things up. This could be a double eco, or they might even force into it. We'll have a look at what setup we're going with. And Zipex, he invests a lot, down to $700 here. So they've got CZs, 1 AK, and they're going to treat it like a gun round now. You can see they've got the smokes here. There's enough firepower to win the round. So we'll see if Dupree can find a quick first pick. Not going to happen. Falls back as Fallen holds strong in the underpass there.
It's a big win to get the 11th to reset Astralis as well. Oh, Stewie, that's perfect. He can hear them running back. Knows that the flash is certainly going to give him the position. Not really much to worry about unless there's someone else. So checks the corners, the angles. Fallen jumps the op in, tries to go for a fast pick towards CT. That was a set shot. He would fire no matter what when he landed. Doesn't matter if he had a smoke or a flash or if someone was there or not. He was always going to shoot. With the AK gone, that's the only gun. That could be the round in itself if they continue to wrap onto A. The only one left over there is Magisk, and Device already squandered in his chances to try and take back Arch. Glaive, great shot though on Fur. I will give him that. AK down. Just keep that in mind in that position. So Tarek probably won't go far from here.
They've actually rotated towards B though. There was no chance for Astralis, but Mibr are opening the door of opportunity. These kills decided, really. It's Stewie to try and find both. Can't do it, though. Matt, this is falling apart. That is going to be bombed down with a smoke as well. Glaive can recover a rifle at this stage. You'll hear players on the other side. This is actually looking very promising. One round away from map point. The flashbang is decent, but Glaive has to sit in the smoke. They know he's there. They're spraying away. That's a big kill. That opens up the B site here, and the rotations have to come through from Device and Magisk.
Smoke down late. They do get the other AK that was toward the arch. Fallen taps. He's not convinced they're alone at this point in time. Checks out Emo positions. New box as well. Tarek does get, but just gets all on Device. He's got to push the smoke. Tarek still looking in. They don't have the call on this. They don't know if he's still towards CT. Fallen should be looking in this direction. He's not. Does see him now. I was going to say, toward the water, he should have had the angle. 12 for Mibr. They just barely pulled that back, all things considered. Yeah,
Glaive there. He was the one that decided everything. If he gets another kill, round is over. They did such a good job to even get in this spot. Zipex with the CZ, but Glaive had already found a kill at this point. That was his second. Gets the AK. If the smoke had been a little bit deeper, I think he actually wins it, but Tarek holding strong there. Finds Magisk, and it has to be a partial buy at this point. Astralis still can't find map points. Deagle CZ, no armor, no nades. This should be 14-13.
Cold. Close wall. Does find Magisk. Second peek for him, and it yields nothing. Pistols, I guess, was always going to go for a headshot. Might as well give it a chance. He'll keep the same angle covered off as a nade goes into Boiler. He is dinked this time. 14 HP, but 2 kills for him, and Stewie will now take over responsibilities at Banana to do the same. Try and find his second kill. Zipic's the man he's looking for. Jumps high, gets wide, but spotted. Stewie's not going to run after that. Certainly aware he's back in the sight. Can't quite see him behind the fountain. It's a clever position. Works every now and then, but not when you're wise as these guys. 14-13, Mibr right back into this.
I can smell overtime here, Matt.
You always say that.
Well, humor me at least. Allow me to explain.
No, the money situation, I certainly agree. It's a possibility.
All it's going to take is one round for Astralis to get, then reset. And the money's not fantastic. We'll see Device with the AWP, their final pause coming in. We'll see Zipex, the last player to purchase. Can feel it really getting quite tense in here at this point. Orbs on either side, Astralis dropping off. They've only picked up a single round out of the last 7. And they had a 6-0 lead at the start of the half, or 5-0 I should say. But it's Mibr that have really turned it on. Mibr getting closer and closer now. They've got a nice reservoir of cash as well. Fallen $8,000. As we head into round number 28, going the full distance here. Flashbang over, aggressive stuff in the CTs. And we'll see them push through the smoke, waiting for the grenades to be thrown down. Stewie doesn't take as much damage this time. 4 players at the bottom of Banana.
Zipix jumps up to spot 1, they get closer. He'll back away, he's not unwise to the fact that there's no need to give away our pick early. This is a desperate round for Astralis, given the situation, given the money. They can tie this back up at Mibr. I can even see it with this round going 16-14 in their favor. Some residual cash still left over on the Mibr side as well, even if they aren't able to succeed in this round. All waiting to see if there'll be any further aggression. The Molotov suggests otherwise. Device, he'll play it from CT and wait for them to get back in, but he is going to be smoked off. Flashed as well, that won't matter. He's got cold. First one successful, and Zipix trying to buy some space. Will slow them down. Device goes back for more, and Tarek's next in line. Zipix feels confidence based on that to spray in. Fur has to hold the corner and get away. Already you can see it. They've sent Stewie to the other side of the map thinking desperately, can we get something done?
Well, that's much more like it from Device. We'll see what they can do as they fall back towards A, but they've got one player positioned in Arch, that's Fallen. He has to find opening picks here, but they're running out of time. 25 seconds here. They have 1 smoke, 1 Molotov. Stewie's low. There is a player in Arch now. They'll use that 1 smoke to get to that position and try and split between Quad and the Arch side. I don't think this will work out. This is surely Astralis posting that point.
Dupree ready. Magisk holding. As the fans say, there's 10 seconds, and Dupree's got the crossfire set. Stewie finds 1, Magisk on the other. That should be a round in itself, but Fallen does at least get 1 back for redemption. I thought maybe he'd get the bomb, but it was on 4 seconds when he hit the kill, so no chance. It's map point Astralis.
And this is why overtime is looking very likely, because you can see 2 players survive on the Astralis side. If they give this one up, it's a full reset, and they'll have no cash remaining. Device, He does such a great job here. The fact he challenges once again, just as they're ready for him, he catches them, the nades out. So fantastic work. As we enter round 29, the full distance coming in here. Astralis with a chance to close up the first map right here, right now. Final, one more tactical timeout remaining from IBR. They're using one right now. Money is there for the AWP once again. Stewie purchases it. It's Fallen, I assume, that needs to drop. There's going to be a compromise here. We'll see how influential it is. A UMP as well for Mages Conclave, and that's why this looks like MIBR might be able to... Oh, double orb on the T side. Yanko's called this. I've seen it before from MIBR. I've questioned him about it, and he says, you know what, these guys, they want to use it, they're ready. They feel like they can shut something down here.
Apartments as well. Fallen, that's aggressive. Certainly can give him the angle if anyone wants to get aggressive against him, but he also can try and pick in. Stewie was obviously going to go this way. He's done it before. Stays away from the... Oh, that's exactly the shot. That's exactly it. If Dupree pushes, Fallen has that all day long, and Stewie's going to follow it up. The double up might just work. He stayed away from the tree to avoid the nades this time. No Molotov. Stewie gets a second, and now Device goes back out trying to make amends with the fact he's lost 2 teammates, but it's only a tag. Through the edge of the wall, Tarek's down to 20, and Stewie's still on 24, but they've got all 5 alive, and they've got the arch to work with. That wants to go first. Keep in mind the bomb is still way back toward T-stairs because they know there has to be a CT response at this point in time. No need to get caught out in banana and give that away. Zipix is even getting uncomfortable. He's got to search around. Good find on Fallen. They would not have expected him to leave this site. He's such a good anchor player. It's not often you see him drifting in the waters. As Cold finds Magisk, it does still big problems worse though. 4. Astralis. Zipix continues to be aggressive on this. They now know he's left B. And smartly, they want to go back to it, but he's not far away. He can get there. Oh, this is even better, too, because if they push that smoke, he's got flames on the inside of it that'll take damage. They've got a second one. They'll extinguish, but it gives him time to get to Ruins. Look at the HP! Oh, he's done a second Zipix! How does he steal back the round? Brilliant as he finds 4. All of them being proactive, all of them with utility. And now Cold, with 48, has to get the bomb down before Device arrives. And Device, UMP, 48 HP is doable. The Cold is so accurate. A second the bomb's planted.
Ice cold, absolutely, my God. It goes 15-14, it's the full reset. Astralis have absolutely nothing remaining. What an epic performance from Zipix to even make it possible, but it wasn't enough. The double spray down, they commit through the smoke. That was a 4-on-2 situation. It comes down to the 1-on-1. Device threw his AWP away for the UMP as well. If he had the AWP there, Matt, I dare say he wins it. He would have the advantage, but he had a UMP instead of the AWP.
It's impressive that Cole got that shot off that quickly. I thought Device might have it just because of the 48 HP. I'm going to suggest that perhaps someone called he was lower than he was.
Sure.
For him to pick up that weapon at that range. But this is exactly where overtime, you're right, becomes a possibility. Because now look at it, 15-14, no money for Astralis.
Yeah, it's almost a likelihood at this point because you've got nothing on the CT side. 3 pistols, an SMG, and a shotgun. And this is the last chance for Astralis to close it out in regulation. It's not looking good. And again, aggressive, of course. They're going to lose a player here. Surely, Zipix taken down. One more bullet there would have dropped him. He's at 28 HP. Smokes and presumably flashbangs coming in next. It's a Device with a CZ. Oh my God! It's the pistol, and Mages helped him out. They might have done it. 3 kills at the start. It's a 4-on-2. Mages surely goes down here, but he's holding so strong. That is absolutely epic. They close out the map 16-14 with nothing but pistols and shotguns. My God, it all goes wrong in the very final moments there for MIBR.
16-14 on the back.